that is why, as a part of Institutions InnovationCouncil, quarter 4 activities. This one activity seminar we organized to understand the insight and the detail about the innovation and startup ecosystem. And definitely, this session will improve our perception and understanding about the innovation and startup ecosystem. So I welcome Bharat sir and thank you, Arjun.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for giving the brief introduction of our program. Definitely, all the participants are going to have the benefit from today's seminar. So, without again taking much time, I would like to invite my colleague, Professor Preeti Varambe ma'am, to give the guest introduction. Preeti ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is I audible?
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, it is my great pleasure to introduce you the distinguishable guests who have made significant contribution in the field of entrepreneurship, skill development, corporate social responsibility. Please join me in the welcoming Mr. Parag Pawar. Mr. Pawar is accomplished entrepreneur and founder of Smart Jobs, a highly successful recruitment firm. With a career spanning of 19 years, he has been deeply involved in the areas of skill development, CSR projects, and vocational training. His expertise in these domains has led to number of successful entrepreneurship partners with the major organizations and government bodies. Throughout his career, Sir has demonstrated exceptional leadership and vision, servicing as a senior vice president and director at Midcom Consultancy and Engineering Services Limited. As an expert in CSR project implementation, Pawar has worked with a reputed corporation such as Tata Motors Limited, Gulf Oil Lubricant India Limited, and Tata Power Company Limited, bridging the gap between corporate entities and communities. His impact on the skill development has been far-reaching, having trained over many individuals across various domains and skills, managing a vast network of more than 600 IT training centers. Sir's education background is impressive. With a MBA in Personal Management from the University of Pune and BSc in Chemistry from the same institution. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to have Mr. Parag Pawar with us today. His dedication, expertise, and unwavering passion for the social development and skill enhancement are truly commendable. Let us take this opportunity to learn from his experience and insights as we celebrate the remarkable journey. Welcome, Parag sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Preeti madam.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
please accept our virtual felicitation. Sir, really we are honored with your presence. My dear student participant, please listen to Sir carefully. If you have any doubt, any query, please note it down. In the end of session, you can even ask Sir also. You can type in the chat box and ask Sir whatever doubts you have. So I request now Mr. Parag Pawar sir to enlighten our audience. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Abhijit sir, Dr. Rachana, Principal Dr. Wafare, and Vice Principal Madam, and entire management of MIT. I'm very thankful and privileged that I have been given the opportunity even this year to interact with your students. And I welcome all students for this session. Even you should be thankful to your institute that they are arranging this kind of sessions which are outside curriculum, and these are really beneficial because whatever we study as per the syllabus of university and college, that is must, but it is useless if it is not mixed with this kind of initiatives and this kind of interactions. You have to club those theoretical sessions with this practical exposure, whatever your institute is arranging for us, for you. So I'm really thankful to MIT also that they are coming up, and they are always ahead in organizing such kind of events where students get exposure to business world as well as other various ecosystems which are there in the society, so that they can, when they complete their graduation or when they complete their education, or and also while they are still studying, they can choose right career path, and various options can be available for them. Because entrepreneurship or startup, it is not everybody's cup. It is very difficult journey. So maybe from 100 students, only one or two may choose to go through this path. Okay, others may choose to choose regular employment. That is okay, but you should be aware what is going in the system. Now, before going ahead, I would like to ask Akhti sir, what is my time like? Up to what time I should speak?
Yes, sir. 3:30 we can okay.
3:30, no? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. As per your convenience, sir. No issue. Time is not time.
And exactly how many students are attending this?
Almost we are reaching to, sir, 60, 70.
Okay. So what I'll do, by 3:20 I will close. So
Yes,
in remaining 10 minutes, if any students have any questions, they can ask.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, so with this we'll start today's topic of our discussion, or my presentation is innovation and startup ecosystem in whatever geographical area we are living. But when it comes to business nowadays, because of globalization, there is no limit to expand your business. The entire world can be your platform to expand your business. Okay, you can start locally and you can sell globally. You can have global customers also. Okay, now today's topics which we will discuss. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So today's topics, what we are going to discuss is the role of innovation cells and support system. Now, methodical approach to financing startups, seed support. Finance is very important. Without finance, no institution, no business, no entity can survive. So, finance is very important. Then next is social media, digital marketing, and startup. Okay, some 10 years back or 15 years back, nobody was talking there. This social media was not in existence, or digital marketing, it had not taken shape. But now everything runs on social media. Facebook, which used for you or for you also, like Facebook or Instagram, it may be like just a pastime activity, but for entrepreneurs like me, it is meant for business. Okay, we use Facebook business pages for making business. Okay, so I'll try to throw some light on it. Then next is some practical experience sharing. If time permits, I'll share few experience sharing, like enterprises which I have seen or where I have experimented, or during my journey with Bitcoin as a senior vice president and director. I came across thousands of entrepreneurs. I have helped thousands of entrepreneurs to set their business. So whatever experiences I feel relevant to you, that I will be sharing. Okay. So with this, we'll move ahead. Now, some basic concepts we should understand before touching this startup ecosystem. There is a difference between employment and self-employment. Okay, it is not mentioned in my slide, but I am telling, a person who works for salary is employed. Okay, he may be getting salary on monthly basis, or it may vary. The duration may vary, but he is getting salary. That means he is employed. Okay, he can be employed in government, he can be employed in private sector, he can be employed in public sector. Okay, so this is employment. it is one source of income for a human being, and a person to survive, he needs to be he needs to have some form of income generation activity. Okay, so employment is one such activity where he gets paid regularly by his employer. Okay, now next form of income generation activity is self-employment. Okay, in self-employment, nobody pays a person any salary. He is self-employed. I will tell you some examples. For example, a doctor who opens a clinic, he is self-employed. Employed. A doctor can be employed also. Some like, for example, there is Apollo Hospital. Many doctors are working there, so they are paid, and there they are employed and salaried. But a doctor who runs his own clinic or own hospital is self-employed. Nobody pays him salary. He charges his patient appropriate fees, and he is paid. Another example is that of a lawyer. Lawyer is also self-employed. Nobody pays him salary, but his clients pay him salary. And though it can vary from date or for particular advice, and it can vary from like various services which are being utilized of a lawyer. Similarly, a chartered accountant. Chartered accountant can be employed as well as self-employed, but if he practices on his own, then he is self-employed. Okay, so this is basic difference between employment and self-employment. We want to see what is startup, but before that, this concept should be clear. Now, again, there is difference between self-employment and entrepreneurship. Okay, now, for example, a doctor, he starts his own clinic, and he alone is running it with the help of some one or two staff members, and charges his patients fees, collects it, and in this way he runs his monthly expenses and his entire thing, even does investment out of this income. Then this he's doing is self-employment. Now suppose same doctor, after making some savings, and after getting some loan from banks, he establishes a hospital. May not be a very big hospital, a small hospital, maybe 10 seater, 15 seater, and he appoints another, he takes partnership of another doctor and starts developing his business. Okay, he starts inviting various MDs and MS in his hospitals, super specialist in his hospital, and his hospital grows. Then his journey, he turns from self-employment to entrepreneurship. Okay, try to understand. Now he is running his business as an entrepreneur, because he developed some system. And his business is no longer dependent on him. He has some second line of managers with him. They will be doctors, but he has developed some system. So the business is not entirely dependent on him. In self-employment, business or income generation depends only on a single person. If he becomes ill, or if any eventuality is there, his business suffers. In entrepreneurship, the person or an entrepreneur, the person who develops this business is called entrepreneur. He develops such a system that even in his absence, the business should run. Okay, so this is difference between, in a simpler form, I have tried to share with you the difference between self-employment and entrepreneurship. Now we will come to our main topic, that is startup. Now, before we go to startup, we should understand what is difference between entrepreneurship and startup. Entrepreneurship, I have already told you that a doctor, we'll take example of doctor only. Doctor, he's a self-employment and employed, and he can become entrepreneur by starting one hospital. From one hospital, he can start a chain of hospitals. Now, what is then startup? Starting a hospital, it requires time, 2 to 3 years time it will require. If he wants to start another branch, it will take another 2 to 3 years time. Okay, so entrepreneurship is comparatively a very long journey. Okay, it is a long journey, lifelong journey. Now, when we come to startup, when we talk about startup, it has got all essential features of entrepreneurship. It has got All traits of this business of startup has got traits of entrepreneurship, but there is one difference. It is highly scalable. Okay, it rapidly scales up. This business in startups, they scale up rapidly. And another difference is that they are technology driven. Some technology is there. Now, whatever the core skill a person may be having, for example, he is a doctor. He is using that he is using that knowledge of medical, his basic knowledge is medical. And he starts startup in in a medical industry in such a way that he collaborates with some technology. He may develop his app. Or he may develop his online consulting clinic. Then it becomes a startup. Okay, and in this way, as it is technology driven, most of the times it is dependent on IT. Therefore, the scale up rate of startup business is very high. Okay, and that's why it becomes more profitable in shortest duration, shortest possible time. So normally startups should be able to mature in 3 years. In 3 years they should be self-sustainable, and they should have grown to some exponential level from where they can further grow. Okay, so with this we'll move to the next slide. Now, definition. And this is definition as per I have tried to explain what is startup from common man's point of view, so that everybody can understand. Now, as we are living in India, we have to follow law of the land, and therefore we have to consider what definition, because see, there are various forms of entity when a person wants to start a business. There is a proprietorship firm, there is a partnership firm, there is a limited liability firm, there is a private limited company, and all these are bound. There is a public limited company. All these are bound by some acts. There is Companies Act. Okay, and there is a limited liability partnership act. So for startup also, like it is a legal entity, so we should understand the meaning of startup from legal perspective. So you can like see the slide and read like it should be up to 10 years from the date of incorporation registration is one of the clause. Okay, and it should be incorporated. No proprietorship firm, that is a single person firm, it cannot be called as startup. It has to be at least LLP, that is limited liability partnership, or it has to be a private limited company. These are the basic requirements. Okay, and since its inception of startup or entity, the turnover should not have crossed 100 crores. Okay, in any of the financial years. Cumulatively it can cross 100 crores, but in for any financial years, the turnover should not be above 100 crore. Then only it is entitled for being declared as startup. Okay, and it should work towards solving some social issues, some social problems. It should have development agenda. It cannot be a traditional business like that of a grocery shop or some shopping center. It has to be technology driven. It should have some innovation, and this you need to prove that that such and such business is innovative, and so it qualifies for startup. There are some advantages of being startup registering business as a startup. That's why these clauses are there. For example, the intellect it can if they file for a patent, the expenses can be reimbursed by the government. These are some of the benefits which startups get. Then there are some tax benefits also, and one more condition is that such entity should not be formed by splitting up or reconstruction of a business already in existence. Okay, and an entity should not have completed 10 years of incorporation. This is another important thing. And for this like what is entity for startup, it is the same thing which is mentioned in, as I have been told, like some of you are BBA students and some of you are BCom students, so you will be able to understand like what is entity and how this entities work. and how this private limited company is formed or how LLP is formed. If you are not learned, maybe in the third year of your second and third year of your, if you're a first year student, then maybe in the second or third year of your academic year, you will have exposure to all these terminologies. Okay. Then I'll move ahead. Now, once again, I'll go back to entrepreneurship, because these are the traits which an entrepreneur requires in him for starting his enterprise or his entrepreneurship journey. And the same thing are applicable to a startup. If any of you want to start your startup, the same attributes are required in you. Now, this is the session of ecosystem and incubation. So you question may arise in your mind. So why I am taking you to this slide where qualities of entrepreneur are mentioned? This is because, like Abhijit sir told, like even the staff members of MIT, they are interested in knowing like how this incubation center works. So while talking with students or while delivering lecture to students, I will also try to touch like how this incubation center works. So, and the incubation center, they have to take care that these traits, these qualities are developed in any aspiring entrepreneur or any aspiring startup. Okay, that he should have achievement motivation. Okay, there are various forms of motivation, like there is power motivation. For example, our politicians, they are power motivated, they want power. Okay, and once they achieve power, get power, their ego is satisfied. Okay, similarly there is money motivation. Many people have money motivation. Without money, they cannot work. Okay, for example, most of the salaried people, when they get money, their motivation level is very high. Okay, when they get some incentive or some bonus, their achievement, their motivation goes high. But how a startup or how an entrepreneur is motivated? He is not motivated by power. He is not motivated by money. He is motivated by achievement, by achieving something, by achieving something. Okay, by achieving something for himself, or society, for family members. That is his motivation. Then second is he should have research aptitude. Okay, he should have research, and nowadays this research has become very easy. When I was studying MBA and all, recently internet had come. Okay, that was only in some selected cyber cafes. Okay, but nowadays you have Android phones in your hands. Even if you Google top 10 business ideas, or if you decide to go for a particular, for example, you want to do some business in handmade paper, and if you search that, what are the opportunities in that, you will get the results immediately. Okay, in Metcon also, like we used to do project reports for business, who for aspiring entrepreneurs who wanted to set up business, and there we used to charge in those days lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees for a report. But now maximum entrepreneurs or those who want to start business, they do their own research on their mobile or laptop, and most of the solutions they have, at least 50% knowledge they gain through their own research. Then they go ahead to take consultation of CAs or some experts in their subject matter. Okay, the next is learning aptitude. See, as an entrepreneur, like he has to continuously learn new things. Whatever is selling today may not sell tomorrow. So every day, even if it is a good day for him, if he's doing good business today, still he cannot guarantee. Nobody can guarantee whether tomorrow his the same business model will work, same product will sell. So he has to continuously learn. He has to update himself as far as technology is concerned. So the good incubation center is such which provides their incubatees. Their incubatees means candidates who aspire to be entrepreneurs to learn new technologies, upcoming technologies, and also inculcate in them research aptitude. Okay, all this they can set apart, like most of the students, they can search on Google, but at the same time, good library can be maintained by good journals can be maintained in the library of incubation center. Every incubation center should have good library. Then leadership is very important. When it comes to leadership, see, in generally in jobs, what happens, there is a team, and if anything goes wrong, everybody has scope to blame each other and escape from the being caught. Okay, there is scope, but when it comes to own business, one has to admit even failures also. Okay, one has to accept failures and go ahead, because nobody is perfect, and everybody, like while moving forward, there are problems, there are failures also. And a true leader is a person who learns from mistakes and goes ahead. Okay, so this is one thing. And leadership can be taught. Leadership can be taught, and this is teaching leadership qualities is one of the scope of a good incubation center. Now, networking, this is very important. Networking is very important. Individual person cannot sustain for a long time without collaborating with others. When you do business, you might be expert in one thing, but for some other things, like for example, you may be good in, we'll take example once again of doctor, as we have seen earlier. He may be a good medical doctor, but he may not be knowing anything of technology. If he wants to go online, he will have to collaborate with some IT firm. He may not be good in knowing what are the laws, so he may require medico legal person. He may require a chartered accountant. So all this networking is necessary for a startup. And a good incubation center is a center where it provides a networking opportunity on monthly basis or fortnightly basis or quarterly basis at least, where all past alumni, past entrepreneurs or past successful startups are invited. Various professionals like CAs or lawyers, they are invited to guide incubatees. Okay, the next quality which entrepreneurial trait is good observer. A person who wants to start business, he should be good observer. What I mean when I say good observer, a person should be, while traveling, while doing your regular jobs, you should be like a good observer. You should understand, you should try to observe what are the problems in the society. For example, in Pune, if you travel, you find everywhere there is a problem of traffic. Lot of traffic jams are there, especially in the rainy days. And immediately, a person who has an entrepreneurial mindset or who has developed this kind of mindset, he will immediately understand like what he can do to solve this problem. Okay, and how he can make money out of it. So he needs to be a good observer, and even these skills can be incorporated by incubation center in incubatees. Now, apart from this, now delegation skills are also required in entrepreneur. Now, when we were talking about a doctor being self-employed, he was not delegating anything up. There are many doctors, like they have their own clinic, they open their own clinic, shut down their own clinic, and give prescription on their own. They are not delegating anything, and that's why they always remain self-employed. I'm not saying that it is a bad thing to be self-employed. Employed. It is individual choice to be self-employed or employed. Okay, but if any person has aspiration to become a startup, he should learn to delegate skills. Okay, he has to delegate skills and monitor overall teamwork. This is required, and this is a very big topic, and a good amount of training is required in this case. And incubation centers, like if MIT wants to be a good incubation center, they can have regular workshops like how a team can be built, how delegation can be done to the team, and how a particular startup can grow. This, like after 3 years of running successfully, startups, they go to the next level, that is accelerate, that their growth is accelerated. Okay, so however, that is not our today's topic. So we'll stick to startup. We'll go to next slide. Now, these are some of the, when we come to back to startup, we've some vocabulary you should be familiar with. Okay, first is B2B. It means business to business. Okay, because these are some of the terminologies. Very like this is only 6-7 terminologies I have shown before you. But there is lot you need to study, you need to understand, and you should be familiar with a lot of vocabulary in startup industry, because when you sit with bankers or when you network with this kind of peoples, you should be familiar with this vocabulary. B2C is business to customers, or D2C is direct to customers. MVP is minimum viable plan. Minimal viable plan is like when a startup is new and they experiment with say 100 customers or 1,000 customers depending upon the ticket size or product price. Okay, that is called minimum viable plan. If that is successful, then they go ahead. Then pitch deck is nothing but it is a presentation in a very good business format, okay, which investors generally investors and bankers, they understand. Okay, then capex is there, opex is there. Capex is capital investment. OPEX is operational expenses. CAPEX is capital expenses. And UI means user interface. This is very familiar in technology driven startups, and most of the 90 or 95% of the startups are technology driven. Okay. Most like examples which you would be able to collaborate is, for example, Ola, Uber, or even Byju's. Like they are startups, they used good interface. That whatever user interface they have given us to use on Android or Apple phones, like that interface, that should be very good. Then another important thing. Now coming to ecosystem, startup ecosystem.
Sir,
Yeah.
just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Actually, slides are not changing.
Slides are not changing.
Yes. It is just one first slide is there.
Okay, which slide is there?
Innovation and startup ecosystem. Title.
1 minute. Just a second.
Yeah.
Now it is changing?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, this I have already covered actually.
Yes.
Now, okay, got it. Now it is. Now is it visible? Startup ecosystem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now in this ecosystem, these are some of the major players: financial institutions or venture capitalists, then government agencies like DIC, District Industry Center, business incubators are there. Professional consultants are there, professionals are there, consultants are there, subject matter experts are there, and finally customers. Customers are most important. Without customers or prospective customers, it is vain thing to venture into ecosystem. Okay, now financial institutions, as I told, without finance no business can even start. So if it is a like startup, sometime bootstrapping is also there. Bootstrapping means from your savings or from parents funding also you can start a business, okay, without much worrying about approaching banks and VCs initially to start with. Okay, then there are government agencies like DIC is there, District Industry Centers. You may be from various parts of Maharashtra, but in every district, even Pune or any district, there is a district industry center. Okay, so district industry center, even they have their targets to set up MSMEs or startups, and they work with various banks also. Collector invites joint meetings of LDM, that is lead district bank, DIC. Monthly meetings are there, and a review is taken. So they have some agenda to develop entrepreneurs. Okay, so DIC is very important player. The next is business incubators. Okay, now this is one important topic of our today's discussion about business incubators, and I suppose even MIT has business incubation in their incubator in their premises at Alandi. Okay, and there are various business incubators in Pune. Some are government funded, some are private. Okay, in my next slides, I have named few of them wherever I have visited or wherever I have some some professional connect. Those I have mentioned there. Then there are professionals and consultants in the startup ecosystem. These may be successful entrepreneurs, successful startups. They are also important for ecosystem, and they help guiding. Once they are successful, they help guiding others to come forward in the startup ecosystem. Okay, and as I told you, like they are achievement motivated. All the slide was not visible to you, but entrepreneurs, they are self motivated and they like to help others also. They are not always money motivated. Money motivation is there, but it is part of that achievement motivation. Then subject matter experts are required. It is not possible that a single person will have knowledge of each and every subject. You have to collaborate with respective subject matter experts. And then customers. Initially, when you start a product, as in my previous slide, I'll go back to the slide. There is a fourth point, that is MVP. Is it visible now, this slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So the fourth point is MVP. Initially, you have to find customers who will be your, who will like, with whom you can experiment. In simpler language, it is like with whom you can experiment your product and check whether they have any complaints, grievances, and then you can finally launch a product for a larger market. Now coming to business incubation. Government has been promoting business incubation since decades. As far as I know, since I think since more than 2 decades, government is having specific agenda to promote business incubation. And why it is promoting, because it helps entrepreneurs to save their capex and opex. Capex is capital expenditure, and OPEX is even operational expenditure. It helps entrepreneurs or startups to save on their initial cost on Capex and OPEX. Mentoring support is available. If there is an incubation center, they give mentoring support, and they provide networking opportunities. As I told in my previous slide also, a good incubation center should provide networking opportunities. And fourth, they ensure a successful startup of enterprise, because the very objective of any business incubation center is to ensure that their startup is successful. And for all of the above, the fifth point is applicable, that is to provide training to entrepreneurs. They have to train entrepreneurs or startups how to manage capex and opex, how to get mentoring support, how to network with successful people and financial institutions, and how to be a successful startup. All these are functions of a good incubation center. And whenever any organization or any college, if they want to approach government for funding or to get grants for starting an incubation center as per NAC requirement or AICT, or they want to approach AICT, then all these are their proposals should have basically these points. And when they get grants also, they have to show they have to submit reports accordingly, like what they have done on these fronts for incubators. Now, incubation center is a space for a new age entrepreneurs and young minds to transform their innovative ideas into viable business propositions. What is incubation center? This is the definition. Like, it is a space where new age entrepreneurs and young minds, they come there and convert their ideas into viable business propositions. Initially, the idea can look like it can look very foolish idea, very silly idea. I have some videos also. In the end, if time permits, we can go through those videos. Those can anybody will think, like, for example, there is one video where that entrepreneur has converted smoke into bricks or tiles. He has converted those smoke. He has captured smoke and converted into tiles. Okay, so nobody can think of common person cannot think of this kind of idea. So the incubation center should not ignore such kind of ideas, and it should help entrepreneurs to develop this kind of ideas. Okay. The next is the entrepreneurial life cycle consists of 4 stages. Idea is there. Ideation is there. It is generally called ideation. Then next is startup. Once that idea matures, it becomes a startup. Then there is expansion and maturity. Okay. And up to the incubation process, it is comprised of three main stages. Pre-incubation stage is there, incubation stage is there, and post-incubation stage is there. Now, these connections help the business incubators to adapt to different strategies for incubating startups. Now, the largest startup, whatever I know, like as far as my knowledge, T Hub is the largest business incubator in Hyderabad. This is just for information of MIT staff. I am quoting this and placing in my have placed this in my presentation, that this is the largest business incubator. There are many good incubation centers in Pune also. Those I am covering in my next slides. Now, business incubation. Now, for like government has some guidelines for business incubation, so you can go through this startupindia.gov.in Ministry of Commerce and Industries site and see more information about it. Then Department of Biotechnology Ministry, which comes under Ministry of Science and Technology, they also have incubation as one of their agenda, and they also promote incubation centers. I was working in Midcon, so that incubation center, we also had an incubation center, biotechnology incubation center. Their thrust is mainly on biotechnology. Biotechnology, they provide grants and support for starting biotechnology business incubation center. Then again, BIRAC, which comes, which is a department of biotechnology. They are also the focus is more on research oriented startups and businesses. So BIRAC also has grants. Even they release at least half-page ads in leading newspaper like Times of India or Sakar about their announcements. Then there are other business incubators. Midcon I have already mentioned. As far as I know, it is at least 2 decades old business incubation center, Midcon's incubation center, where I was part of this organization for 17 years. Then NCL Venture. On Pashan Road, there is NCL. Just near to NCL, there is NCL Venture Center. It has got a very good facility for incubation. They have cubicles or even separate cabins for incubatees. And again, their thirst is on biotechnology and then technology. Also, other businesses also they support. Then inside Pune University also there is an incubation center. And COEP also I have visited. COEP has Bahu Center. They mostly promote IT based incubations. Okay. Now this is one report which may be beneficial to the staff members of MIT. You can grow. It may not be so useful to students, but it may be beneficial to staff members. You can go through it later on. Okay. Now, this in some previous 1 or 2 slides I have already covered this, so I will just make passing remark and go ahead from this to the next slide. That I have already told, like what a model incubator center should have. First of all, infrastructure is the basic requirement. If you want to approach any government agency for funding you as a incubator, first of all you need a infrastructure. Okay. And in this infrastructure, you should be able to, or when you prepare proposal, you should be able to propose that there would be co-working spaces. Okay. There will be common meeting place. There will be like a common conference hall where which incubators can take on hire or rent whenever required. So he doesn't have to invest all 30 days by paying rent for a conference. So all these things, and along with dimensions and everything, you need to write in proposal. Then you need to propose that you are associated with such and such chamber of commerce, maybe MCCI or any other chamber of commerce or any industry, and therefore you can provide networking opportunities to your student. Okay. And you can also, as you are already an institute and you have BBA students, so you can always show that you have pool of consultants and experts on various subjects, and they can be helpful to incubatees if you set up incubator. then you also have to uh, tell them or show in the proposal that you can provide handholding support, as you can always show that you have various commerce faculties, and these faculties can be helpful to students in giving them handholding support during their journey in entrepreneurship. Okay. And some initiatives you can start, like then there can be regular startup exhibition, there can be business games. See, before corona, no, before corona, maybe I think it was 2019 or 18, I visited COEP's startup exhibition. So at least 100 new startups were there in that exhibition. Okay. And some of them were students of COEP and some were not, they were outsiders. So these kind of exhibitions you can start even now, so that that startup culture starts in your institute. Even students of BBA or BCom, they can come forward and they can have like they can form teams, and they can like maybe in a year, like you have various festivals and all in colleges going on. There are various days in colleges, so there can be 2 days exhibition, startup exhibitions, where you can even charge fees. Startup may not mind paying 5,000 fees for attending this exhibition, because he gets networking opportunity. Okay. So this can be good idea for students also, and as well as for college also. They can form committee of students and they can approach various startups. And nowadays, approaching startups and all is very easy. You need not go on your you need not do legwork. Just go from one place to another. That is not required. uh, you can post on LinkedIn, you can post on Facebook, and you can get many inquiries. Okay. This I have covered in my next slides, so I'll move to the next slide. Okay. Now, coming to the next slide, methodical approach to financing startups, seed support. Now, as I told you, finance is required, whether it is your own finance, or it is the finance of any institution, any bank, or anybody for that. It can be your parents' finance. Finance is finance, like money is involved. So you have to be very serious about using this money. Okay, even if it is your own money, it has cost. It is somebody's hard-earned money, so you have to use it very diligently. You have to apply mind while using this. So all this kind of like inputs, or this sensitization, a good incubation center should be able to give to its incubatees. Now, uh, when we talk about finance, first thing which a person should think, or incubatee should think, or even a student, even if you are a student, you should think, that is about business plan. Okay. You should write. Normally, what do people do? They go to CA and ask them, like, I want to do this business. They say that I want. When I was in Metcon, they used to come and they used to ask, like, we want to start a poultry farm or a goat farming farm. Prepare for us business plan. But we used to discourage this kind of approach, because we want a person to do his own homework. He should write with pen. There are today laptops and desktops are available, but a person should write with pen on paper that what would be his budget, how much funding he is going to raise from his own pocket, or own parents, or own relatives, and how much he expects from bank. All this he should write. All the expenses which he feels would be incurred in coming year or next year, all that he needs to write with his pen in notebook or papers. Because if when it is science, once you write with your pen and a pen or pencil on your paper, that is registered in your mind. Okay, that is registered in your mind. It can be some target about achieving something, or it can be plan about saving money. That gets registered. So you should have that habit. And one more thing, once you write no on paper, uh, if you make any mistake, if you make mistake in some projections, you will immediately realize, your mind will tell you that you are doing wrong. Okay. And this is against, if you go this is against something, like if you go to any CA and ask him for a ready-made business plan, that won't help you. You may go through the figures what he has written for you, but you will not be able to understand what are the mistakes. So we normally used to encourage people to write their own business plan. They can definitely get it pitch. They can prepare pitch deck with help help of some expert, some business, whatever business language is required, with help of some senior person, they can definitely do it. But initial writing of business plan should be done by a person himself. Then bootstrapping is like using our own fund from saving or with the help of some relatives, where there is no like interest is not payable. Okay, so we also advise people like whatever you want to start, first start from bootstrapping without any burden of bank loan or any burden from any person who gives you loan. Okay, so you can start nowadays. You can start business even with a 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees is more than sufficient for starting any business nowadays. Okay, then next is equity vis-a-vis debt. Okay, there are two kinds of fundings available in startup ecosystem. One is equity and another is debt. Okay, equity is like when a person takes shares in your business. Okay, it can be 20%, and against that he gives you 20 lakhs. Okay, that is called equity. Okay, in this case there are advantages and disadvantages of both kind of fundings. Okay, in equity you give him share in business, so you have to share profit with him. Okay, the next, in debt fund, you need not give him any equity. He doesn't share in your business, but when he gives 20 lakhs, he expects monthly 12%, 15%, or 18% of interest, and that becomes sometimes burden for you. Okay, in running your capital, in monthly capital or operational cost. Okay, then next is VC are sometimes, they are like the nature, it depends upon the nature of the VC, like how they are, but they come with startups to earn money. So they come with their own they sometimes pressurize startups. Okay, for good returns, but they sometimes comes with good exposure also. So it depends. You have to choose VCs very carefully, but at early stage they are not required. Okay, initially you can start with your own funding, and with the help of some banks who are ready to help you. Nationalized banks are there. Then there are some government scheme. I was talking about DIC in my previous slide, District Industry Center. One exercise which college should ask students. There's some colleges I know, they every year they form group of students and they send them to DIC, district, with obviously with permission of with inspectors or GM of that particular DIC, and they go and try to understand the schemes of DIC. So PMEGP is one such scheme of DIC, and one of the flagship scheme. And every year they have their annual targets about disbursement. So and there are like subsidies. Subsidy means you not pay that part. Sometimes this subsidy amount is up to 35 lakhs. Sorry, 35%. 35%. So suppose a entrepreneur, he gets a loan from bank of 10 lakhs. So he has to pay back only 6.5 lakhs along with the interest on only 6.5 lakhs. Remaining 3.5 lakhs is waived out by waived under various schemes like PMEGP. So all these facilities, even a good banker will tell you. And good incubation center is also a center which invites bankers to tell them about various schemes. They invite general managers to tell incubators about various schemes. Okay. And apart from this, this is a slide for financial startups. But as we are talking about startups, I will also tell you, because it's not there in my slide, there is a technology, STPI is there. Okay. Technology park is there in Hinjewadi. So even they should be invited to tell like what are the facilities of STPI. Okay. Software Technology Park is there. And now next is SIDBI and NABARD. These are government institutions, SIDBI and NABARD. The difference between SIDBI and NABARD is that both want to promote, both want to help entrepreneurs by giving them direct funds. They fund entrepreneurs, good businesses, but NABARD helps only agriculture startups or agriculture units, whereas SIDBI funds only non-agriculture non-agriculture startups, SIDBI funds. And I know there are some schemes of SIDBI where you don't require any guarantor, because there is one scheme, CGTMS, where guarantor is not required. That guarantee guarantee is borne by another government initiative. Okay, so these are some of the schemes for financing startups. Now, how to identify a products or a service for startup? Okay, anything. Now, this is very important because before you go to any bank, I have covered in my previous slide about finance. But before going to finance, you should have good product or good service. Then only you will be able to raise funds from anybody, maybe from your parents or maybe from banks or maybe from government. Okay, so how to identify whether a product or a service is good for startup? Anything that brings or adds value to prospective customers or society, it should be it would be a good idea for a startup. Now, it should be able to solve some problem in the society. And how to find like what is the problem in the society? As I covered in my previous slide, a entrepreneur or a good startup, a person who wants to do something in startup, he should be a good observer. While commuting, while traveling, he should be able to see problems in the society. And there can be a group in the society, you have groups in your colleges. Nowadays there are also WhatsApp groups, so there can be brainstorming, like what idea is good, what can be a good business, which social problem can become a good business. This kind of brainstorming, online or offline, through personal meetings or online, this can be done, and some good product can come in a year. Okay, if you are in a second year, maybe throughout second year you keep on brainstorming, and some idea will come. Then you can always maintain a diary. Okay, and whenever any idea comes, you can write in a diary that this and this is the idea. For example, if you are seeing Facebook, just simply browsing through Facebook, seeing your friends, some ad comes and it clicks you, just note it in a diary. Okay, again with a pen and a pen pencil in a physical diary, you maintain it. Then next, you can visit various exhibitions, and you can gather good products, whatever product you like, and keep it with you. Because I know one entrepreneur, Mr. Baum, his name is Mr. Baum. He was in Dubai. He was working in Dubai, but he always wanted to start his own business in India. So his practice was that, but because of financial constraints, he was forced to work for a few years. So he went to Dubai to arrange to have some savings, and his practice was there. That I heard his case study. He told me that he had one compartment in his house in Dubai where he was staying. So whatever good products he used to like, no, he used to bring and keep it in that compartment. Okay, and it was his idea then that when he decides, maybe after 10 years, when he decides to go back to India, he should be able to start his own business with one of the products. So in the end, he finally he selected two products. One was mineral water, and this I am talking about. He was telling his story. He came to India in 1990. Okay, so at that time in India, nobody was drinking bottled water. Okay, and another product which he identified, it was Decorel. It was a curtain razor or curtain. It is used. It was an automatic curtain, like where curtain is what you called is placed in windows. Nowadays we don't see it, but in 90s or even in 2000s, this product was seen, and he made a very good. He selected the second product, that is Decorel, for placing curtains. Okay, and he did a very good business out of it. And after that, he diversified in horticulture, and in this way, he was doing his own brainstorming. So students also can do this kind of brainstorming among themselves, and even college can have this kind of activities. It should be economical. Now, a startup idea should be economical to the end user. It should not be like you are starting something new. That doesn't mean that it has to be very costly. You have to work from economic point of view. If it is very costly, nobody is going to buy from you. Then it should match promoter's temperament. For example, temperament means your nature. For example, it should not go against your temperament. For example, you don't like traveling and you want to start a travel agency. It doesn't match your temperament. So you should not, though there is profit in travel agency, or a travel startup, you should not go for that kind of business. Then you can club in a startup. There can be clubbing of traditional business or business idea with technology. For example, nowadays like there can be restaurant, and that restaurant can start own app and start delivering food via app. Similarly, I have told you example of Ola and Uber. Okay, so car is like car is one like basic need for this business, but Ola and Uber, they don't own a single car. Okay, everything is, they are technology company, they are IT company. So two technologies they have mixed. Okay, so this clubbing of 2 or 3 technology is required in startup. Now keep things simple for yourself and for end users. Okay, there are many options available today. If you visit anywhere, if a client visits your website or app, and if he's not able to reach your website in 1 second or 2 seconds, he goes to another website, because in Google many websites come. If you search any website for hotel booking, there are like 10 websites coming immediately. So it should be, the things should be very simple for end customers. Now try to find niche. You should always try to find like what should be, what value addition you are going to give, and what niche you are going to offer. Okay, and you should be able to offer value to your customers. Okay, so they should be able to find something valuable. For example, there is Ola and Uber. Now if you want to venture into that business, you need to give them some value. There is always scope for brainstorming and going ahead. Now next, uh, after doing all this thing, once you identify a product, and if it matches all the things which are mentioned in this slide, the next is one question you have to ask yourself, because you are doing business, you want to do business, and business is not for hobby. For example, there is a photographer, for hobby, for the sake of his hobby, he can go on clicking photographs. Or if there is if there is an artist who loves drawing, for the sake of his hobby, after his daily routine of going to work and earning salary, for removing his stress, for relaxing, he may do some hobby work like painting or doing taking photographs, but that is not going to give him major revenue. But when it comes to business and startup, it is not hobby, it should not be hobby. And therefore you should ask 3 questions. Can I make it? Whether, like for example, you decide to make some app. Okay, though you are not tech savvy, you are dependent on somebody or some institution or your incubation center, you should be able to ask whether you can monitor it and get it done, whether you can make it on your own, or whether you can get it done from your technology partner or your incubation center, or any subject matter expert. Okay, now this is one part. The next question you should ask, whether I can sell it. Okay, once you make it, you should be able to ask yourself question whether you can sell it in the market, whether it has need. And therefore, like whatever points I have covered in previous slide, through that you can do market research. Then next, whether now ultimately all this exercise you are doing to earn profit, to earn money. At the end, and the final and the most important question you have to ask yourself is that whether you can make profit out of it. Okay, and these three, the good incubation center should focus incubators in making incubators realize these 3 pertinent questions right from day one. Then in basic financial management, by uh, management, most of these things I have already covered, but these are some terminologies which might have been left in my previous slides. Capital cost is there, variable cost is there, uh, and variable cost is also called working capital management. In BCom and BBA students, maybe you must have gone through these terminologies. Then there is a break-even point. Break-even point is like a minimum number of sales of units which a entrepreneur should make in a month or in a day. It depends like how he defines his BEP, to reach a point where he doesn't incur loss. Okay, and from that point onwards he starts making profit. So this, like when I can I make a profit it is answered by this BEP, like what is this BEP, and whether there are customers, number of that customer base is there or not, where he can reach this BEP point, and when he will reach the BEP point. And based on this, he has to prepare his own business plan, as I have told you in earlier slide. Okay, so this is basic thing. Now we'll come to another interesting topic. My time is actually coming to end. Another 10 minutes are there. I will try to complete as fast as possible. So social media and digital marketing and startup. I am not aware what kind of social digital marketing skills are there in your syllabus, and whether you know them or not. You don't know them. I'm not aware, but I will advise you, you should go through. There are many short online courses available for digital marketing. I will advise each of you to go through, students, especially for students, that they should, while studying, they're not very lengthy courses. You can go Udemy, for example. There are many courses on Udemy, and the cost is very less, $499 or $449. So you can definitely go through such courses and update yourself. Okay, now print media is almost out. I remember when in 2003 I joined MidCon, and we were promoting various courses, various short courses, like on businesses like mobile repairing or photography or travel and tourism. These kind of courses we were promoting. And in the year 2005, I remember we had tie-up with Sakar Media, and Sakar Media, they were very helpful to us, and they released our advertisements at very cheaper cost, and also they released press notes also. And so because of that, there was huge crowd. Even in this rainy season, I remember there was huge crowd, and people used to come, and at that time they used to pay fees of 5,000 rupees and register for various courses. In those days, 20 years back, 5,000 rupees was a very big amount. Okay, so but same print media is now out. Now MidCon, now also, and 2 years back I was in MidCon. That time also we were not releasing any ads in newspaper, because they were not giving any results. And during Corona, what happened? Many people have lost their habit. They are not reading newspaper. They have given up their habit of reading newspaper due to Corona. It doesn't mean that they are not updated with news and whatever is going around. Now that has taken. Now they are getting knowledge. Whatever knowledge they used to gain from newspaper, they are getting it online, through online newspaper or through Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so even that is media, and therefore you should be now on digital media and social media, not for only making friends, but for doing business. And now Facebook, till 2017, I joined Facebook very late. I joined in 2018 when we started digital marketing. Okay, and for me it was a very serious thing, because I joined only for making business, and today also I do maximum business. Like 90% of my business comes from Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so this is very important. From that perspective, if you are not aware of this, from now onwards, now you are aware. So from business perspective, you start looking towards Facebook and Instagram and also YouTube. Okay, I'm not very much familiar with YouTube and Google SEO, but some businessmen, they make business out of Google SEO and YouTube also. Then Twitter's followers, Twitter subscriber size is very less, but some serious businesses can be done on Twitter and LinkedIn. LinkedIn, they have got very, very high charges for releasing advertisements. I'll tell you like how Facebook and Instagram work. If I, for example, I want to release ad, I have to pay to Facebook some amount, and then they release ad, and their ads are of various types. Like if you want leads, for example, if you have any, like for example, you want to sell phone, and you have launched something new product. It can be a new phone, new mobile phone. You want leads for them, so you can get leads. You can get there is a form. People feel interested, customers, they fill form, and in this way you can do your research. There are Facebook ads. What I'm normally doing nowadays, I sell my products directly on Facebook. Nobody calls me or nobody sends me message. They directly go on my website and they purchase a product and pay whatever amount is there on directly on the website. This way the businesses are done. Okay, this D2C market, that is direct to customer market, mostly it works like this. There is a landing page on website which is prepared through WordPress, and through Facebook they land there and they do business there. Okay, now there are other market apart from social media. There are other marketplaces like Amazon and Flipkart. If you have if you have your GST number, you can sell on this platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, and also Mishu is also there. So and if you want to if you have desire to sell internationally also, there are platforms where you can sell internationally also. Okay, these are some of the tools which you should practice, or you, even if you Google, you will come to know Canva is there. Earlier, when 20 years back also, I had started my business, and before joining Midcon. So that time, no, to prepare any advertisement or prepare any label, I used to work at DTP shop, where they used to work on Corel, Photoshop, and prepare something, prepare some good design. Okay, and in this way, we used to get design and banners. But nowadays, all these things, even a person like me who doesn't know anything about designing, I didn't have even drawing in my school subject. Okay, even I can prepare my own ads in Canva. Okay, then you should know about WordPress. You should be able to, it is very simple. You should be able to prepare your own landing page, if not website. Okay, then you should be aware of Google Forms and Google Sheets, because these are useful for market survey, for understanding minimum, for understanding MVP, which I had shown you in earlier slide. Okay, then there are other sites like indiamart.com, tradeindia.com, or Udan, where you can do survey of various new products, and you can buy from here at wholesale rate and sell on Amazon and Flipkart on retail rate. Okay, this can be one business model. These are some of the creating website like Amazon. It's one day job with platforms like Shopify and Equid. Okay, just like Amazon, you can set up your own store on Shopify. Then there are some tools. There are AI tools like SpeechLow. I also use the SpeechLow and Lumen 5. In SpeechLow, if you type text, no, it is converted into audio. And in Lumen, if you type text, it is converted into video. So and in this last 1 year, there are hundreds of AI tools. ChatGPT, you may be aware of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is there, where if you want to know about any topic, you type, and it will give passages about that product or service you want to venture into, or any topic. If you want, you can write, and ChatGPT will write for you. Apart from ChatGPT, there is a Midjourney. Midjourney app is there, or AI tool is there, which converts text into images. You might have seen many avatars, like avatar. There are various avatars, no, nowadays. So those are created using Midjourney. Apart from Midjourney, there is, I have not mentioned here, but today I experimented with it. It is Studio DID. There is one more tool which converts text into images. Okay, why I'm telling you this is important, because for startups, no, initially you cannot hire experts for everything, because otherwise your entire profit will go there. You should be able to use these tools, and you should be able to do your own digital marketing. You should be able to start your own website without depending on other, and you should be able to run your own marketing campaign without depending upon any designer. That's why I have included this in my presentation. And even incubation center should have one cell which will be able to give training on this aspect. That is, digital marketing and AI training should be one part of a good incubation center in 2023. Now, I'm almost coming to the end of my presentation. In another 4-5 minutes, I should be able to complete it. The ecosystem. Now, VC funding is there in ecosystem. We are talking about ecosystem of startup, VC and funding. There is Velocity. You can check Velocity website. They give funding to new startups, but there is one criteria that monthly turnover should be at least 5 lakh rupees or 8 lakh rupees. Then GRIP is there. GRIP is also one platform where they fund new startups. Then mentoring support is provided by organizations like Deasra. Deasra is promoted by Persistent company, and during their first meeting, I was there involved there with Deasra. And Midcon has given training to their first batch, and some employees who have been trained by Midcon are still working with Deasra as mentors. Then next is BYST. Again, Midcon was associated with BYST. BYST is also doing good work, but their geographical area is limited. They work in Pune, they work in Aurangabad, and couple of few districts in Maharashtra. Then National Entrepreneurship Network is there of Vadvani Foundation. So even they are doing good work among the college students for promoting entrepreneurship and startups. Then there are private co-working spaces available. Apart from incubation centers, there are many thousands of co-working spaces available in places like Pune. Okay, they are not incubation centers, but they provide that kind of culture. Whatever culture is required for growth, no, they provide. They don't fall in category of incubation centers, but they only take rent and give space on for the usage to the incubators. Then there are marketplaces promoted by government. GM is one marketplace. NSIC is one marketplace where startups can register and get benefit of government orders also. Okay. Then there are industry associations like CII. Okay. They promote they have various events. They call various speakers, various experts, and networking is done. I have attended many CII events, and they are really knowledgeable. So I even like MIT Incubation Center also, they can invite them for association, and they can be really beneficial to the students. Okay, some practical experience sharing. See, I have experimented. I have done many experiences, many experiments in my journey of Midcon as well as entrepreneurship journey. I have sold products on Facebook, Amazon, Meesho. I have sold. I have experimented with international selling, but I didn't move ahead. Then I know like how white labeling business opportunities work and where are white labeling opportunities. Then private labeling opportunities are there. Then drop shipping opportunities are also there. Drop shipping means you don't have any product. The product is somewhere else, and still you are taking orders and delivering it only on internet or on your laptop. Okay. Then there are aggregator business models. For example, this Ola, Uber, they work on aggregator business model. Then there are subscription-based business models like Udemy and all. How they work? So most we have guided in Midcon on all this kind of various businesses. So a good incubation center should be able to guide incubators on all these fronts in all these areas, because these are present things in the market. Okay. Now, some I would like to throw light on some trending opportunities or emerging business opportunities. E-commerce is there, hydroponics farming is there, cloud kitchen is there, 3D printing is there, drone is there, logistics is there. Logistics or supply chain, the broad terminology is supply chain management. EdTech industry is there, health tech industry is there, like 1mg. Okay. And agri-tech, there are many opportunities in agri-tech using drone and other things, like doing GIS mapping for agriculture farms. Then fintech opportunities are there, childcare opportunities are there. Then there are opportunities in pet care. Waste recycling is there. For example, there is lot of lithium like our mobile batteries, when they are wasted, no? When they're wasted, there is lithium, and this lithium can be used for preparing batteries which are required for electric vehicle. Okay, so if this good businessman comes ahead, he can solve the problem of shortage of lithium, and we did not import lithium from China. Okay, so there is opportunity in waste recycling. Then there is opportunity in GIS, geographic information system, and remote sensing. Okay, now Abhijit sir, should I continue or stop?
Yes, sir.
What should
Means किती आहे आणखी sir?
Like 4-5 slides are there. There are some videos. Should I play here, or I'll share PPT with you and you can?
Yes, sir. That will be great, sir.
Okay. So there are few There are some videos I'm sharing here. Each video is of 4 to 5 minutes, so it will take much time. So in my first video, as I told you, there is video where a smoke is converted. Entrepreneur is there. He converts smoke into bricks and tiles. So this is one business idea. It doesn't mean that you have to do same experiment. Just this I'm sharing so that you can take inspiration, and in this way you should be able to find a good business opportunity from waste. Okay. Now in another 3-4 videos I'm sharing, this I will share with sir. And nowadays startups should be based on AI. You should take maximum benefit of AI, because 90% of the work AI is doing for you. Then startup should be based on IoTs. Though you are not a science or engineering student, you can always experiment with IoT also. Then these are some legal aspects. I'll skip this because it is not required right now. I'll skip this. You should be aware, but you should be aware of all these legal aspects. Commerce and BBA students will be knowing this aspects: Shop Act license, or a memorandum of article, MSME registration, environmental license, FSSI license if you are going for a food startup, or then GST registration. All these are important if you want to grow in business. Okay. Now, and there is some, if you are going into IT, you should be aware of this GDPR and other laws. GDPR, it is applicable. It is a data privacy law for European countries. If you start your website here, and if you are selling product in USA, or your service or information nowadays even information is sold, then this law becomes applicable to you, and there are experts in this area which will guide you like how to follow these norms. Then there are trademark laws, then patent laws are there. So you should do, I'll suggest you do some homework on this legal aspects required in business and startup ecosystem. Okay. Now, why do, this is important, this is my last slide. This is important. Why do startups fail? Okay, this is a lesson for both students as well as for incubation center. They should worry that they fail because there is no sufficient funds, though, and there is lack of financial planning in using the funds. Okay, then too much time is wasted on final product. There are some like this especially happens when a person is technical, or for example, if there is a mechanical engineer, he knows he loves his mechanical engineering subject to such an extent, he keeps on experimenting, he tries to build a perfect product, and by the time his product comes, his product is outdated because others have launched the similar product. Because in entrepreneurship it is taught, because we were also taught while doing MBA, when any particular thought or a particular idea comes in my mind, or any person's mind, same business idea comes in same business idea comes to 20 different persons. Okay, so there are chances that all 20 people can start with the same business. Okay, therefore it is necessary to launch product in a time bound manner. Okay, there is lack of proper planning, and due diligence is not done, laws are not followed, and then government authorities come, and then the business comes in problem. This also happens. This I have seen in my journey in Midcon. Then there is no proper team building and delegation. There is no exploring new ideas and changes. So you should be always open to new ideas and changes. Then experimenting with many things at the same time, sometime lands in a problem, and sometime early exit without waiting for results. People don't see results, and they immediately switch. They take up job and leave their enterprise in between. So these are the some of the lessons of startup failures. These are especially important for candidates, that is incubators also and incubation center also. So with this, I am thankful to management of MIT for giving me opportunity to interact with the students. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, students, if you have any doubt, query, you can ask, sir. You can type in the chat box, or even you can unmute yourself and ask, sir. Actually, this topic is really very vast, but sir has tried to explain all the things at a time with the help of innovative examples, PowerPoint presentation also, and in a lucid language. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Uh,
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Actually, we want to see you physically in the college because
Yeah, let's see.
it gives more impact on the students. So definitely, we'll plan accordingly,
Yeah.
and you will be there in the campus, sir.
Okay, great.
May I, yes,
Yeah.
sir. May I now request Professor Shriram Kargaonkar, sir, to propose a vote of thanks. Shriram, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to one and all. Myself, Professor Shriram Kargaonkar, stand here today as a proud and grateful faculty to express my heartfelt thanks to all those who have made this event possible. I would like to start by thanking our today's guest, Mr. Parag Pawar sir, who have taken time out of their busy schedules to grace this occasion with their presence. Your presence has added an extra spark to this event and made it even more special, sir. As well as your guidance will benefit our students. Thank you once again, sir. I would like to thank our respected principal, sir, Dr. B.B. Wafare, who have been our guiding lights and always been supportive of our initiatives and encouraged us to strive for excellence. I would like to thank our vice principals, Dr. Mansi Atitkar ma'am and Professor Akshada Kulkarni madam for their continuous support and guidance. I would also like to thank Mr. Abhijit Netke sir, Mrs. Professor Archana Ahir madam and entire IIC committee members for arranging this informative and knowledgeable session. I would also like to thank all teaching and non-teaching staff for making this event a grand success. Last but not least, without whom this event can't be successful, I would like to thank all our students who patiently, scholarly, and enthusiastically attended this event and took the benefit of this event. Finally, I would like to thank each and every one of you. Your contributions have not gone unnoticed, and I am grateful for all that you have done. In conclusion, I would like to say that this event would not have been possible without the support and hard work of each and everyone. On behalf of the college, I would like to express my sincere thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I declare that this session got over. Thank you so much, everyone, and good day to all.